What's going on, party people? Captain Zeus here, and I'm back with another review for Maul Shadow Lord episodes 7 and 8. I know I'm a little bit late on this, so I do apologize, but spoiler warning up ahead for those that have not seen the episodes yet. We're gonna go ahead and dive on into it, so if you like these reviews, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Now, episodes 7 and 8, I do want to highlight two things that I've been saying this entire review, video, playlist, series thing. Animation, just fan-freaking-tastic. Soundtrack, oh, you could just cream in your pants and it would be just amazing. The quality that is in this series is off the charts. Probably the highest quality thing Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilms, whatever, has released in recent years. And it goes beyond just satisfying the Star Wars fans with lore tidbits, connections, George Lucas dreams that never got realized that are being realized now. No, I'm just talking about the attention to detail in every aspect of it. Using the oil painting backgrounds, mixing it in with modern 3D animation to blend into this beautiful quality that we're getting. With Kevin Kiner and a few others working on an amazing soundtrack that blends the classic Clone Wars vibes with a gritty, grungy, cyberpunkish little splashes here and there that just creates such a unique experience. If there was any Star Wars show I wanted to introduce to new Star Wars fans, this would be it. And not just because of those two things, but also the story. Because in these two episodes, there's just a lot being dealt with in terms of the turmoil with a lot of these characters. In episode 8, we see that specifically, but I'll get to that in a second, because in episode 7, we do see a big battle here. It is Maul with the little ones, the littles. They're making their escape. They find, their peeps, the Mandalorians, which we do learn a little bit more about their connection, the Mandalorians and Maul, because the Mandalorians are still with him because he was the ruler of Mandalore officially, legally, and they're still following him. Kara, I think her name was, she's clearly there out of pure loyalty and devotion, but she realizes that this path to getting an apprentice is kind of messing with their good vibes, their good plan that they were using. And Mandalorians at this point are certified mercenaries, so most of the Death Watch people behind her, they're basically saying, I'm not getting dough, you just made me drop all of the money we just had so we could live. I don't like that. I'd rather have money, so I'm out of here. And so the seeds are being planted, if they weren't already in the past two episodes, that they're going to be dipping pretty damn soon, and we do see that happen. We also do get to see Devin kind of lean more towards Maul's vision or path that he's laying out for her, because Riley, scared out of his freaking mind, is like, who is this guy? What are we doing? She's instinctively being like, don't trust him. He's a lie. He's a devil. Like, do not trust a single thing coming out of his mouth. We only need him because he can literally protect us from those big bads. But it could just be me, but she seems to be second guessing herself in saying that. She's learning more about Maul, asking questions like, who is your master? How did that go down? Like, what was your story? And someone that genuinely hates another person, doesn't want to hear a single thing they say because they think it's lies, isn't going to be asking those questions because they're not going to be getting a truthful answer if that was the case. But Maul's completely open with her. And so I do like this little connection, this relationship being built between the two. It does kind of seep over into the next episode just a smidgen. As they try to make their escape, the Inquisitors make their appearance, and boy, oh boy, geez, man, they know how to freaking make a statement, because the Inquisitors hunt them the frick down. We get to see the little snippet from the trailer where there's this huge battle on the bridge. There's just blaster shots going all over the place, and Maul ends up in a situation where it's a 2v1 against the other Inquisitors, which I think is the first and third brother. I know for sure the masked dude is the first brother. Also, do we know what race he is? Part of me wants to say he's like Grievous's race, but I'm not too sure. I know a lot of people have been talking about that water splash animation. So good. You see the steam off of the lightsabers, the detail looks so good. But back on track. So we're seeing Maul fighting these two, and he's holding his own very well. Hell, honestly, if his leg wasn't busted, he probably could take them both, which just shows how effing skilled he is. Not only is he a double-edged blade wielder, he can also single blade very efficiently, which he does a lot, kind of showcasing the fact that when he's using both sides, he means business. And he's going up against two Inquisitors who are extremely dangerous, extremely skilled, shield and are also using the path of the double-sided blade. That's very difficult to do. I mean, have you ever tried to fight somebody with a ginormous stick, but each side of the stick can like give you infinite degree burns? I would imagine it's dangerous. But nevertheless, they do fight and they kind of push him down to the point where he's like gonna die. And one of the Zabrak homies comes in to save the day. I wouldn't even say it was a sacrifice, because I don't think that was his intention at first, but it was definitely his intention once he got in there and realized Maul was in some deep doo-doo. But he comes in to try to give Maul the edge here, but he dies. And it was a pretty sad death. And I think that death is kind of what ties into some stuff that happens in the next episode, which I'll go into here. But instantly, as soon as that happens, Maul's just, he tries to fight off the Inquisitor some more, gets himself in a spot where he's like, all right, I gotta make some room, and he collapses the entire freaking place. But before that happens, the third brother, I think it is, comes over and says, the Emperor doesn't want you alive, he wants you dead. Like, there is no surrender. That's because Maul's like on his knees, hands up kind of thing. Maul is seemingly battling himself with fear and exhaustion and determination, just in the exhausted exhales in his voice, the little wheezes that come out. It's like slivers of fear in there. And I don't know if that's just like a PTSD moment because of his master, because everything he's about to work for is going to be gone in this second, but he obviously does get out of there. Otherwise the show would have been ended right then and there. And that also goes into the next episode, because in episode 8 we do see really some more backstory on Maul. Now, a lot of the backstory of Maul originally was decanonized because of Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilms. I think I have like the hardcover book of Maul, which goes over his origins. I'm not sure if that one's like canon or not. I think it's like the 2003 book or something. Anyways, we see that Sidious picked him up as a young chitlin, and in the book I have, it goes over the fact that he was essentially like tortured as a kid. Like he was abused like a mother trucker, and we see slivers of that in the show where he goes to hit Sidious once, it wasn't up to par, and he's just getting electrocuted. It's tough. And Maul, while surviving this collapse, trying to make his way back to his people, is dealing with his past self. And I think this entire sequence with him was important, but also kind of like not needed to be as long. Like, for people that don't watch Star Wars, I think it's perfect for them. It gives them more backstory on the character, gives them something to kind of, oh, I want to know more about him, you know, that kind of a hook. But for us regular, casual, and hardcore Star Wars fans, it is kind of stretched out, because yes, he's battling his inner demons in a way, really his past self, the innocent, naive child. Because in the beginning, when he sees the innocent child in the water, he says, I hate you. That's the first thing he says. And you see him go through all this trauma. You see him relive the fact that he reunited with his brother, saw his brother die in front of him, etc., etc. And then it gets to the point where he's accepting himself, accepting his past, and instead of saying I hate you to his past self, he's saying, I will never let this happen again. I won't let him hurt anyone else, which is so powerful and was great until the scene afterwards, because he's like, Sidious is the one that did this, he's at fault, etc., etc. And I'm like, this is true, you've been saying that the whole series, even in season 7 of Clone Wars. So I don't know why this is becoming a revelation now. I don't know why that needed to be said now, because we already knew that. We knew you hated the Emperor. You kind of haven't been quiet about it. So it was that last part of this whole Maul storyline in episode 8 that kind of seemed dumb, in my opinion. Obviously, for people that have never seen Star Wars before, I'm sure that's great, but for literally anybody else, it's kind of dumb. Also, it just seems really stretched out. Like, it really was. They could have done that in like half the time. Meanwhile, he does reunite with the Mandalorians, or what's remaining, because in the previous episode, the ones that were thinking about dipping tried to, and the Emperor caught wind of that and just blew him to freaking sky high. But we definitely see Maul reunite with his people, and it's like a somber moment. You really get to see the bond between them, because it's not just employee and lawyer kind of thing. I mean, obviously with that one little alien dude, it was a little bit of a fear thing at first, but he's kind of on board with Maul and his plans, whether it's out of literally my only chances to do this or I'll die, or if he's kind of actually on board. I'm not too sure. It might be a mix of both, but he definitely seems to be committed 100% either way. And I do like the bond between him and the Mandalorians, obviously, not just because he was the ruler of Mandalore for a decent amount of time, but because of the battles that they've survived. That kind of stuff does build a deep bond. And so I'm very curious as to how the relationship and their story is going to go from here on. We also do see a nice little tidbit of the Solo movie, because the alien dude's like, hey, I got you a meeting with Drayden Voss of Crimson Dawn. He wants to talk, which is huge because in the Solo movie, guess who's working for Maul? The Crimson Dawn. They're a huge thing. Maul has an end credit scene in there, and it's dope, kind of signifying that he was the ruler of the underworld. And this is what Dave Filoni does all the time, and it's beautiful. I like this seamless blend of canon, making it work in a way that doesn't seem forced, doesn't seem cringe, and actually improves upon the story, because the Solo movie itself was terrible. However, when you give that little nod, it's like, hey, now on the flip side, in episode 8 we get to see Devin kind of shine, really, if you think about it. Now in the last episode, Riley got captured by the Empire, so in this episode, Devin, who reunited with Captain Lawson, is trying to rescue Riley from the Empire's clutches with the help of Two Boots, who doesn't have his boots. I don't know how they can't recognize him without his boots. Anyways, they kind of do a little breakout deal. It started off, oh, nobody's gonna notice, until the alarm sounded, and then bada bing bada boom, a lot of explosions. Captain Lawson's lady friend phoned home and said, hey, I got a ship ready to go. You better be on here, because if you're not, you're gonna be screwed. And so that's where they're trying to go. There is a super cool moment with Devin where her master's like, hey, I need you to go get us a ride so we can escape. And the sequence that happens when she does it, I think was awesome. If this was a Kathleen Kennedy-led Lucasfilm, she would have had the cringiest toxic girl boss moment ever that would have made her hated as much as Rey in that moment. Fortunately, that wasn't the case. She goes and she finds a ride full Anakin style and was like, yeah, we're getting this one. I'm not gonna just get any old hunk of junk. We're gonna get the fast one. And there's these alien dudes. We have no idea what they're freaking saying. They're Cyclops. And she's like, hey, look, I need your ride. And there's 3 of them surrounding her, and they're like, it's not happening. And she's like, yeah. And the next second, they're all on the ground and she's driving off. And I think that's so funny. I don't know why. Like, I like those kind of sequences where we don't see the fight. The character gives some kind of witty remark or a little smirk, and the next thing we know, they're just leaving. It just cracks me up, honestly. And the sequence that follows suit, oh man, just keeps highlighting the point of their high quality animation. Because Devin gets the crew, they're all inside the ship, and they're making their escape. Well, they're making their escape because they're being followed by some speeder troopers and an ATST and some gunships. And holy crap, is the Master Daki, I believe, and Devin's chemistry so good, because as they're bobbing and weaving Rocket Man through the freaking streets, somehow surviving by the skin of their chinny chin chin, there's a moment where I think it was an ATST or a gunship that was right in front of them, and Devin does something dope with her master. She spins the car around. As the car is spinning, her master opens the door, slams one of the stormtrooper speeders onto the ground, grabs the other one, flips it up, shooting it into the, I think it was the gunship actually, into the gunship behind them. And then as the car goes back 360, Devin goes full speed as the ship slams down to the ground. And I'm like, dude, that was just so smooth, no hesitation, absolutely clean, and I freaking loved it. And the song that they were playing throughout that sequence gave me Matrix 2 vibes, where Trinity's having the highway chase. It's like bam, 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 bam. It was like that kind of song, but in Star Wars. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, this is so, all the vibes were just so good, and it was just fantastic. And they go to meet up with Captain Lawson's lady friend. You find out she's been compromised, and she has a dope ass moment too, because as Captain Lawson and crew make their escape, they're like, what the heck happened? Because the Inquisitors were there waiting, and she grabs the stormtrooper's gun that was next to her, spins, and starts shooting everyone, killing almost everyone around her. And as she turns to face the lieutenant that was like right next to her, kind of like whispering sweet evils in her ear, instead of shooting him, she aims up and shoots the ship that is activated, and it explodes, essentially killing the lieutenant. I'm pretty sure it killed her. There's a chance that she probably survived because she had time to dodge, and killing most of the stormtroopers there as well, which was such a sick sequence. Like, this whole episode was just dope. Everyone just had cool ass moments. Yeah, it was such a good freaking 2 episodes, and I'm so excited for the rest. I don't know when this is gonna end. May the 4th, at the time you're seeing this, is probably today. So hopefully we can get some dope Star Wars announcements. But what are you guys excited for? How How are you liking the show? Let me know in the comments below, because man, I honestly am so glad we have this. It's so good. Skeptical at first, not anymore. Anyways, I'm Captain Zeus. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a great day. Bye.